Anyway, do you want to talk about mix-ups today? My understanding that there was another video made, you may have seen, that was like fighting game mix-ups, but they get more disgusting. They didn't have that many mix-ups that were that scary. It was just like a bunch of funny clips, right? But Lord Knight took that as an attack on his character. So he built a presentation about what mix-ups are. This is 0 seconds into the video. I didn't crop this or click this in like a weird way or anything. This is just what it looks like when you open the video.
I'm gonna block this whack-ass mix-up.
I think this is like one of the greatest fighting game clips of all time.
Oh shit, crush. I'm gonna block this whack-ass mix-up.
The confidence into the immediate, oh shit, I got hit. And he doesn't get mad like, oh, like he hit me with such a stupid, like he doesn't get pissed. He just laughs. He's like, all right, cool, man. Like he mixed me, he got me, all right.
But the thing is,
how's the audio?
Mix-ups are some of the most like interesting and flashy things about fighting games. Unlike a combo,
This is
even
better.
if your only option is to just block, the opponent is also part of this. I hate to sound like a fucking business person. The experience.
This is mix-up player propaganda, I'll say, telling me, oh, you're interacting when I mix you. But we'll let it stand because it is true.
So first, what is a mix-up? I am being deadass. My best friend Infil has made
There you
this,
go.
right? A situation where the offensive player has several ways to attack that each require a different defensive action to stop. Most mix-ups contain several fast
brain
options that are extremely difficult or impossible to avoid on reaction. I think it's a good definition of mix-up, but my expert definition is a situation where the defender is forced to defend against two or more options that would connect at the same time, aka same frame or close.
A mix-up is only a mix-up if it has a real chance to hit the actual best defensive players. This is an anime player's description of a mix-up, and this is correct.
If the mix-up of a high and a low don't hit at the same time, then you can block both. There it is.
The low hits first and the overhead hits later. So if you just block low for 10 frames and then after 10 frames switch to overhead block, then like you could never get hit because there's no change in timing, right? If the defender is defending correctly, there's really not a lot to threaten you with here.
They really like saying shit like this is a fucking mix-up. If you could hit this fella, it's a mix.
This is the best definition. In fact, my pitch is that the glossary definition should include a picture of Goichi. This is the peak of human defense. If he can't defend against it, then none of us can.
I've grouped all mix-ups into 7 categories. I'm not a 3D player, so I don't know if there's like some secret Tekken sorcery or Soul Calibur sorcery or something like that. But for starters,
7.
strike throw, real, air dash, high-low, FG keys and instant overheads, left-right mix-ups, corner steals, collision box mix-ups,
Okay.
and then no or a broken cross-up protection.
Collision
And
box
we're going
is
to
devious,
go through
yeah.
each one. And this
How's FG? It's like fuzzy overhead.
is strike throw for referral.
This is mixed right here. Fucking World Tour mode, man.
If you play like Arxis games, it's not easy to strike throw people because the games have a lot of like protections around
Throw protection, yeah.
There's a lot of the more classic defensive techniques that you would use against throws that existed in Street Fighter 4 all got removed in Street Fighter 5.
Throw protection makes it so that you are not throwable out of block stun, hit stun, waking up, etc. if you wake up with your fastest button. In Arxis games generally, like in Guilty Gear, there's 5-frame throw protection and characters have 3 or 4 or 5-frame normals across the cast. Now if your button's late or something, then you can be thrown, of course, or if you just block. There is an exception, which is Guard Crush, and removes all defensive protection. It removes throw protection and it removes the defensive mechanics from the game from being used for you. It's why Guard Crush is so strong.
That means in Street Fighter, strike throw is a legitimate 50-50. He gets thrown, and now he gets struck here. He gets struck here, starts blocking, gets thrown by the one fridge, and then gets thrown by another fridge.
You may be like, why is it not real in Guilty Gear? Can you not strike throw people? You can, but because there's throw protection, you could always mash, and things like fuzzy jump and fuzzy backdash and fuzzy mash are so much more powerful because of throw protection.
This is the classic.
Air dash high low.
And the title is pretty straightforward, so
Byaku with a throw in the corner, trying to set up, overhead with the bread and butter.
So in this case, right around here, I could land and do 2A, or I could do air dash, delay air dash JC. She could do air buttons into air dash. Like, it's a very common, classic type of mix-up. Next, we have the F-Shiki and instant overheads. Fuzzies got a little convoluted because there's fuzzies on defense and fuzzies on offense. So some people started calling it F-Shikis instead. Quite literally means
anime players would call it F-Shiki.
Special. There's a player named F, and it's like the F tech. There is Lord Nightshiki in Persona, which is using the anti-air to beat fuzzy jumps. At this time, I kind of call these offensive fuzzies, just to be more clear. I had mentioned the fuzzy meta, so we're going to use Dragon Ball.
Up, and so it begins once again.
Here we go. Oh, caught him.
Fuzzy. We got the universalist of fuzzy.
Oh, man.
Universalist? Is that a word? It's a word now. Forget it. We out here. I made it a word. All right,
Snap.
we're back with the most universalist of fuzzies. Oh, I like he didn't want to hold
Just
that.
barking,
He
but
didn't want to hold that.
he
We
might,
gotta hold it again.
he's gonna have to keep holding.
Oh,
Fuzzy Wuzzy.
This is a long clip. It's Dragon Ball. Fights are long in Dragon
he
Ball.
is not playing the game, bro.
No assists.
Yeah,
in
he's
block
stuck.
stun. Pretty much has to hold this. Blocks this overhead. And because he blocked the overhead, I'm like, you know what, man? I'm gonna assume he's going to guess high again. I'm not gonna go low. I'm gonna go the layered route. So I do the overhead and fuzzy him off that. This was so good, and people complain about this so much that they nerfed it.
This is the fuzzy that most people think of. This jump light here where Cell is stand blocking, and then afterwards he does this jump light and it hits Cell overhead. Like, how is it hitting Cell overhead here, right? He must be crouch blocking, but his body is still standing. Your character is still in the block stun of a standing animation for the offensive player to mix, even though you're holding crouch block, and then the character gets a rising attack like that. Your hitbox is still there to get
And
clipped.
they don't want that. And I think their number one goal of DBFZ
This is how
is
most
they want you
fuzzies that people
to feel
refer
like
to
you can use
as
any character.
fuzzies or
people are
F-Shiki
like,
overheads
you can't play
are.
Cell, you can't play Broly, you can't play Vegito, and they don't like that. Left, right. And for the first time ever, I'm not going to use Claw doing fucking shoop 18 times.
Damn it.
So instead, I'm going to use Street Fighter 4. This is from NetPlay, but this is all you need to see. And this is not me.
Akuma time? In the front?
I think Akuma's sick. Into Rage Quit. Okay.
We should have used the Piccolo
You
club,
started
true.
in 2009 with Street Fighter 4. You are a boomer. Akuma can jump. He could dive kick you to go same side, or he could use Tatsu to go cross. He gets a knockdown, does a Tatsu,
15
makes
years
TP
now.
again, goes same side. He tried to mash, and now boom. This is
Yeah.
very common. Honestly, they were calling this game Vortex Fighter, Mix Fighter, and they tried to do stuff like there's delay tech and stuff like that. Left-right mix-ups are very good, and in my opinion, the best common mix-up. After this, we leave the realm of commonality, of peasants, of standard reading, and we enter the depths of the vortex. All the stuff we had before, the answers are pretty clear. High, low, and F-Shikis you can't see anyway, you just guess. But once you get here, it starts playing with you as a human, because it looks visually jarring, like you're supposed to be somewhere and then you're not where you're supposed to be. The corner steal.
I love corner steals.
Oh my There we go with the dash on in for the throw. Empty jump. This time gonna get strung up. Yep. He took the corner theft of the highest caliber and this under side swap.
I'm using Baiken's tether to pull them out of the corner, and it has to be done a very specific way. You see this rope being pulled, right?
Yeah, this
Rope
mix
gets
is
pulled,
sick.
And Sin is now out of the corner.
Any character that has like something that reels you in, pulls you in, like Darius's hook is a good example in 2XKO. That's a corner steal move where the opponent is technically not in the corner anymore. A lot of games have made it so that moves will not cross you up into the corner, like a dash or like a move that goes through your opponent or whatever. They stopped designing moves that do that a lot of times because they were like, caught emoji are bad, you just can't block it. So then corner steals became even more important, I think, for that reason.
Like Street Fighter 4 that we were just talking about, the opponent is never in the corner. You just take the corner from them. In games like that, it's like kind of expected.
Yeah, Leo's crazy.
But in games where
Crazy
the
character.
opponent is all the way in the corner, this type of mix-up is extremely strong.
Yeah, Amelia, Turbo Fall.
Now,
so, yeah.
collision box mix-ups. You might be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I should be here, but I'm not for some reason.
Oh, there we go. Actually, heavy Kabari instead.
Nice bait!
Ooh.
Big punish. Good starter as well.
Last Kabari. Follow up. To the beach.
Oh! I ain't gonna lie.
The question is,
I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a cross up too.
Yeah, I got you too. Yeah.
do you understand Yipes? She should cross, and she doesn't. She hits him where she should cross. You can get it so like it looks like Baiken appears here, and then gets like pulled into the
Shunted
front.
down,
It looks really, really jank.
There's also mix-ups like this where it looks like your character goes through and then stays same side and
to
stuff.
stop you. This is very tricky, to set up, but if your character has a way to do this, it's quite strong. JH is not making me fall faster. If you do this wrong, you will literally fly over Happy Chaos. Again, hard to set up.
I'm sure he'll have an example
but
later.
if you can do it consistently, if you have a character that has something that lets you do it consistently, it's very strong.
What am I
And then the last one.
Hold this damage, hold this combo, and this setup. Oi, Jay, Johnny. Oi!
Now, I don't actually think my opponent broke cross protection here. I low-key think I was like holding up or something. The point of this clip is, what if there's no cross protection and someone has a move like this? There's a projectile here, but I'm over there, and then like we're moving. So they jump over me, and Johnny's pulling me out, and then they double jump, and I get pushed by the projectile. Maybe I got hit, maybe I did it. I legitimately cannot tell you. Right? And regardless, they didn't convert. French bread games actually have very severe cross protection because there's so many moves like this in this game. There is this move, and actually yesterday, I think I spent like 4 hours looking for footage of the Actress Again version that doesn't have cross protection. I'm gonna make up a number. I know it's wrong. It's like 9 hits. So what if this move that's 9 hits, they start in the front and then they go over you while you're getting hit and you're in boxer the whole time? What happens? You have to switch. And where the fuck do you switch? You can't tell.
They designed away from this on purpose, right? Like many moves that are multi-hitting have been changed such that if they start hitting you one way, they like can't cross up and hit you the other way. You can break it sometimes by moves like missing and things and like weird situations like that. But yeah, I mean, they specifically try to fix stuff like this. You know?
Joke if this was a mix-up, right? But people found a way. Okay, so this
or
this
they
is
like
the standard
auto block
way
for you. Yeah.
of breaking cross protection multi-button. All right, did you hear the inputs? Again, the point is this game has very extreme cross protection. They super jump over, okay? And when they super jump over here, Satsuki and some other characters, their air backdash doesn't go very far, right? So she can go over back this way, but there's not really a cross-up option because even if her jump C can hit this way, like on this side, which it kind of can't, nothing's really gonna happen. You know, you're just gonna block it fine. So what they do is they go over and double jump to the original side and then air dash and hit the button. And that's how they do it. And what the game thinks when you do this is not thinking you're doing a cross up. It's like, oh, you're just on this side. Oh, that's not a cross up. It's same side. They're facing the right way. And that's how people do it. And in slow-mo, it looks pretty whatever. Right? Okay. 1, this is faster than you think. 2, now you have to deal with
cross protection exists to like save you from bad.
She's jumping from very far, and she has like same side and cross up low options as well on your body. So she's incredibly difficult to defend. This leads us to this. Guard Crush and Strive.
Yeah.
Has no throw protection and no cross protection. Or if it does have cross protection, it's very small. But you can get cross up in block stun by many hits. And just at any point, he could just teleport and 50-50 you. This thing is incredibly rare in fighting it. Like, many games don't have this, and if they do, it's usually like a team game or people would probably
generally cross-up protection is there to save your life.
Essentially unblockable, even though it's like not. So with that, let's talk about my problems with that video. So first, we gotta talk about good stuff.
This is mixed. That's mixed.
That's a sick mix-up, right? Just like this. He kind of retreats before doing it. That's what kind of makes this one really cheap. This is definitely a good corner steal. But there's some stuff that's
questionable.
200 bar to their name. All right, let's see if the mix works this time. Floating up, floating down. Where are we going? Oh! Breaking the champion's ankles here.
The commentators even let you know that it was not a mix-up. They're like, his ankles are broken, aka he got shimmy. This is not a mix-up. This is a mental stack.
Yeah,
so
he just overloads them.
Was Featherine in Clear Lamp's head? Yes. Is this a mix-up? No. Especially Under Night has not only good throat protection, but there's a shit ton of defensive techniques in this game.
Yeah, there's like a million OSs.
Not only that, the game teaches you almost all of them or all of them. Not a mix-up, unfortunately. Not by my expert definition. Another thing we have to talk about is the commentary.
Looking to get more, but for now forced to block once again into the corner. The Alpha Blade a bit too hard, anti-jump. JJ News is really mixing it up right now. He's looking really hard. 75th mix in a row. 77th mix. There we go.
If you watch this. Let's watch this with no commentary. It is a cross up. This is a trick, right? This is a trick, but it worked. Okay.
Yeah, that one
resets.
Also fuzzyable.
Into low key can be blocked. Into OTG setup. Okay, go same side. This is tricky. Okay, resets with a fast cross up. And then again, low key can be blocked again, and then goes for another reset. A bunch of the resets they go for have enough of a gap that you could like fuzzy something.
Yeah.
It's fine, but does it warrant this reaction?
I have
If I see
opinions.
that keep it up afterwards, overhead connects.
Getting counter hit.
EXP down on the field. Overhead once more.
Oh, it's looking like a mixtape right now. Stop it, 12. Oh, yo, look at this.
Oh, wait, is this gonna be the... Oh, wait, you just turned around?
Oh no.
You had me in the corner, now it's your turn?
Oh no. Well, honestly, they deserve each other.
How you do it?
These two characters.
Are you kidding me? Yes! Give me the thievery!
Oh, what?
Gold burst gets used.
I can't even be like, oh.
Now let's watch it with no commentary. Run out with Zappa. Throw. Dog. So dog has an overhead.
The dog's
where,
fucked up, man.
You see this? There is a follow-up to this that's basically instant overhead. Right there. It's very tricky to deal with because Zappa could run up at the same time. You could choose to not do the follow-up, things like that. So they keep up pressure and they're using this. It's all kind of like a combo. You reset with the overhead. Accidental gold burst. Scramble happens. Burst. Stuff's on the screen. Runs up, far slash into that. This is cheap. These are two cheap characters doing two cheap things to each other. I think this is in this video because there's a guy in the background being like, look at the mixtape, look at the mixtape, look at the mixtape. It is hard to do commentary well. This is cheap, but it's not mix-up highlights cheap.
There's like definitely real mix-ups that you could get in this game that are really messed up that you don't need to have Testament doing 2K 6P or something because it's like normal stuff that the characters are doing. Yeah, I can translate in a second.
But if you don't know the game, because okay, sure, I know Testament, but I don't really know Zappa, so I watched it originally. I'm like, I literally don't know what's happening. Remember, I said I was going to circle back to something. Listen to this again. This clip.
Oh, there we go. Actually, heavy Kabari instead.
Nice bait!
Ooh.
Big punish. Good starter as well.
Last Kabari. Follow up.
Oh! I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a cross up too.
If you watched this and you did not know what I was doing, you would have been like, wow, this dude gets hit by safe jumps. Why? The impact of commentary. Yipes goes, whoa, I think I got hit by that. I thought he was going to go over.
One thing that I can tell you about being the person whose job it is to learn the game, the more you know about the game, the more excited you could be when genuinely messed up, unusual stuff happens. When commentators get on for games, normal stuff happens. Like someone does a B&B and they're like, oh, this Bombo is sick. I'm like, oh man, you are new in town. It takes you out of the moment. It really kills what's happening and like the enjoyment of what's going on. I've watched so many hours of like every game I commentate that like you really have to show me some real shit that I haven't seen for me to be like, what the fuck is that? Like I'm like, what? Whereas like if you're so easily impressed by like the shiny lights of the game, you probably haven't seen or watched it very much. So it's like really easy to like jingle some keys in your face and you're like, oh shit. On one hand, you are supposed to sell the moments and make them big. It is very important to understand you as a commentator, your job is to be a trustworthy source about the video game. Actual moments that are important and good and like sell a story that's real. When you're saying incorrect things or like, this person's coming out of nowhere, no one knew who they were and they won. And you're like, that's punk. Like, oh my God, unbelievable. Who would have ever thought Xiaohai wins King of Fighters at Evolution? You know, like it's like you gotta be for real. No, the Chris Hu DHC glitch, he is being truthful. He is explaining the situation honestly.
You can do a combo into another combo with a super, but that combo is not landing any combo. But when he knocked down, it's still a combo. You understand? Hell no.
It makes perfect sense to me. And the Yipes example is great because on a real mix-up, getting mixed means that the mix-up was good because you, the commentator, are playing the game in your mind when you're watching and you're like, oh shit. But when you watch someone get dogged to death by Zappa, like it is funny because it's like, oh man. You're like full screen just getting chopped up by the sword and you're like, dude, I'm getting mixed by a sword who's like a better character than my character. If you say, I don't know what's happening, this is sick, That's way better than being like, actually, he did the safe jump here into the, you're like, that's not a safe jump. And he did the optimal B&B into the, and you're just like, that's not an optimal B&B. It's way worse to lie than it is to just be truthful and be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is hype. Like one of my favorite clips ever, Cadril, the League of Legends commentator, he's like watching a clip of a Valorant thing. He doesn't know what's happening, but he's just like doing his own impression of what's happening. Guys in the side, this guy's a dog. Nami ult, this guy's casting a spell, I can see, like he just doesn't know what's going on. But if I'm watching the actual like world finals of Valorant, I don't want him on commentary not knowing what's happening. You may be like, well, I do in Twitch chat, but you're a fucking moron. I want someone who actually knows what they're talking about to do their job. And very frequently we do not have that.
And I think the main problem with so much SF5 being represented in this video,
it doesn't have that crazy mix, man.
You have moves like this, the kunai, or Aegis Reflector. You have moves. When you do them, the viewer, the commentator, the player, and the defender are all like, oh shit, it's mix-up time.
To throw up some trickery to get out of the court.
Up to snuff, developer on 2xKO versus Filipino man.
Go into another trap. Here we go. Soul Butter.
Oh.
On the delay ride. On the delay ride. Tell me you blocked that.
The commentator's like, you didn't block that, right? I don't know. When you see
an orb
set this,
yeah,
do you not think something is coming? The
she
game
has real mix
you,
that she can do. She's one of the few characters.
Tell you with the move, it is very, very clear. I don't really know what happened. I guess it's a cross up, but she tells you 2 times.
Yeah.
She tells you she's gonna do a mix up here, maybe, and then a mix up is definitely gonna come here. I don't know what it's gonna be. But you see a projectile on
your body, you're like, yep.
Something is gonna come. Street Fighter V was, at least for me, the first game
she had
like
instant
NRS
overhead
games
also.
where there seems to be a
setups for that.
I do want to address something because I didn't put it in this presentation, but I want to talk about Hellzone Grenade. People are like, this move is super cheap. You can't see, brothers, sisters, everybody. As soon as you see this, you're getting mixed. The game is telling you, hey, buddy, guess what? It is
a warning sign.
We are going to go through the chart again. And we got to start with Strike Throw for real. What I'm about to show you is still in Guilty Gear Strive. The power of my dark mode.
Bro, what's your problem coming up with this? Like, who is going to do this? This is so much work.
What is happening, you might ask? When you get put in situations
doing all this. This is too much work.
Where you don't have throw protection,
yeah, because guard
and
crush,
you have something that is moving independently of you, you can create unblockables.
Yeah, in theory, you shouldn't be able to escape,
type
right?
of situation where you set up a projectile with the guard crush, and if they do nothing, you grab them. If they do something to escape, they get hit by the projectile. I think last patch, this is like realistic to hit. But
can't regular DP beat this now?
Wall assault and like all the meter building.
Oh, maybe with BRC it can't, because DPs don't lose the throw anymore, right?
And this patch is not so realistic because it's pretty unlikely you'll have the 100 on offense like this. Is this
maybe
mix?
You can block
this is literally an unblockable. This is the classic. Low key, air dash high low is such a standard type of mix up that it's not actually ever cheap. These become like unfair.
Do I agree with that? That's an anime player brain for sure.
Coverage for some reason.
Okay, actually he's correct. Never mind, I changed my tune. He got me. I'm with you. Yes, standard high-low is not that bad unless the standard high-low also beats lots of other things.
It is using the proximity guard in my air dash high-low to make it so that I cannot be guard canceled. There's a certain timing of when you land.
This shit
the lowest priority action you can do is block.
Hard. Yeah.
And you can cancel that proximity block into certain actions, and one of them is jumping. So it makes it so that if they dead angle the first hit of the disc, because disc is 2 hits, then I block. So it looks like this.
This is gross mix, yeah. 50-50
right,
plus covering their dead angle.
And if they do the guard cancel / dead angle on the second hit, the proximity guard activates, and I cancel it, and I back jump, and I get a fat ass combo. Usually there's ways to sneak out of this if you have like some type of resources, something between DP, RC, or like certain guard cancels. There's usually ways of like wiggling out of this. Dead angle against disc is very, very, very common counterplay. So having something that stops it, that stops many of them, is extremely powerful and forces people to do more risky things or just die.
There's 2 cats back here. Look at them. That's a cat leg of one cat. And this is the other cat. Cats.
FG and instant overheads, especially around that 2015 era of fighting games, outside of Exert, because Exert comes out at like the end of the 2009 cycle, right? In my opinion, Exert plays like an old game. One thing that became common was people trying to find these type of mix-ups, some type of instant overhead. If you can maintain your advantage after, or if you could put them in places where people don't expect them.
Yeah, because
like
really,
jump in and a rising thing.
It's just an overhead low mix.
If you can find a way
that's
to
straight
do
gas.
it on either smaller characters or do it in like weird spots, then you'll catch a lot of people off guard. I don't know how tall Sol is. He's not that much taller than Milia. So this is not a place you would expect an instant overhead to come. You notice that I land
and then air dash.
My timing of
so if you're trying to fuzz
air
it,
dash high low, most fighting game players will stand block when they see you in the air.
Most people crouch block.
You're blocking the disc high, which enables this. This is an incredibly fast overhead. The main things that people could do is to block low, which opens them up to the original air dash high low, because you have to stay crouching for that to not work. And on my side, I could see a very, very tricky style of mix-up, and she keeps her advantage because you end with JH. And if we circle back to what we were talking about before,
this is a good fuzzy
coverage. There's also this in the same clip. Good job, past me.
Yeah.
And also base DPs. And we go to left, right. And finally,
finding the cheap shit.
I know people have been waiting for this. The kill stage gave me this.
Oh, Skullgirls. Oh!
Fucking hate watching this.
Oh, I love jump, light punch, air dash, heavy kick. That shit makes me laugh every time. I love Philly. This character's so fun.
Okay, those first mix-ups were mid. Like the first one, it was a blockable. It wasn't a mix-up. An air dash thing, I guess it's cool that you fucking jump away from the dead angle or whatever. That air dash fuzzy, like, low-key, I blocked that. Okay. But I ordered them based on how unfair I thought they were. So now that we're at left rights, we're starting to go to the dark.
This one was fucked up.
She can restand you, to my knowledge. This game only has cross-up protection when you push block. So with the restand
in the front,
honestly, the world is just yours.
Cross up. Oh.
Of course, in 1/4 speed, this does not look fast. The only thing that's even telling you you're getting mixed is the combo counter. Now we move to corner steals. Corner steals are always cheap. That's your beginning of I'm not supposed to be here. Why is this happening to me? We have to do the classic.
Likey, yeah.
Did you block that? Be honest. Be honest. So here you do the DP. Okay, DP knockdown. Overdrive.
I blocked it because he said there'd be a corner steal.
Okay. So the super was so broken, they changed it to overdrive. Activate die shedding. Okay. Even here, there's no corner space, right? But for whatever reason, she could do that. I'm using the barrier. Lychee's crouch is smaller than the FD animation. The barrier is like a literal shield, and Lychee is smaller than the barrier. So you run under their tech and they do a flip. So because of this, Valkenine is higher than he's supposed to be. And then she has this move, which is her 2C. Her 2C always advances her and then retracts her original position. But because Valkenine is higher than he's supposed to be, you pull him out of the corner, and then you go in the corner, and then you get hit by this shit. Have I done this in tournament? Plenty of times, by the way. Plenty of times.
That's not high?
This shit is mad cheap, and even if they block it, of course, you have dice shedding, so you just keep going.
Yeah, you keep mixing.
Another example.
This character seems evil. I think I'd play her. Oh. I don't think I've seen someone do that before.
Did you block that?
It didn't look as fast as the other one, though.
Why does a footsie character have mad corner mix? No. LMAO, no. Hell no. Alright, let me explain. This is definitely a gimmick, by the way. It is cheap. You need to know the rules of this game. So first, I do Aegis Reflector. Just kidding. It's a Bufala.
Walk in the club, Aegis Reflector.
In this game, this move is extremely broken, and it covers almost all reversals in the game, and you can't roll. So you have to block a high-low 50-50. People say that the high-low is fuzzyable, but all you have to do is delay the low, and now they're fucked. Instead, though, I use the block stun to run up and do her sword super. Why the fuck would I do this? Well, if you watch Mitsuru, she's gonna stab, 1, ba 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 ba. And right here, she vacuums you in when she does the kick.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, but you could see the vacuum. However, after the vacuum, I run forward and push them back in the corner and cross up anyway. Because this game has a rule that if you use a move that vacuums somebody, they are not in the corner anymore, even if you put them back in the corner.
That is a weird rule, like as a system mechanic.
So for the clip, I did the mix-up the way I wanted to do it, but technically I could LTG run. I could go, I could do this for like 10 seconds, and he still would not be in the corner.
Yeah, you can still jump over and cross them up. That's so
the
weird.
The game just forgets that you're in the corner if you vacuum them and you don't do anything about it. And by the way, at one point, this was in Blaze Blue, but they took it out. I don't know.
I wonder why it works.
I don't
like
know
that.
if it's in Persona right now, by the way. But this only works once. This is a given. Okay. Then we have this. This one's no memes. I think you just don't block this.
No,
There's no
I mean,
weird system things.
Bro.
It just because of a wall bounce. This funny enough, this is the same as the lore mix-up we saw before. Just with
Oh, that is like, that's peak.
And instant overhead up.
Oh man. I mean,
Also,
you
ignore-
are
ignore
fucked.
Philia.
Like, there's nothing you can do.
And half speed is I don't know what we're listening to. So next,
What you got?
collision box mix-ups.
The problem is, once you start getting into this kind of territory, you're working almost too hard. Like, the mix is so good that you just don't know what's happening. So you don't even need to trick me anymore. Like, I'm beyond tricking. I'm already guessing. You're almost overdoing it. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm already gonna have to guess a 50-50. So.
All right. Be honest. Be honest. Who blocked that? In Overdrive, he gets to extend his ice moves. So you set up something here where you do JD at the end. It puts you here because you're frozen.
Yeah, there was a long delay before he got the corner, though, right?
It kind of doesn't put you all the way in the corner. Also, before using 5B, which pulls you out of the corner, a crumb, leading to all sorts of shenanigans. Boom. Now the game doesn't know what to do.
Oh man.
The game
He's
is like, what is
facing the
happening?
left. He's like, what up?
It's on like a 4th speed, and he just teleports out the
Yeah,
ice.
he just exists.
It looks so jank
And then suddenly he's just hitting you.
compared to if he stays
out
in the corner.
Sure.
But alright, it gets harder.
Good man. Who do you want? Vegeta, yeah. He wants to get rid of that assist.
That was dirty.
Did you block this?
And he got 2M starter.
I don't even know where the hit is.
What is this
Grounded
Lord Knight
snap.
ass
It's
team?
very
This guy's
important for
playing
frame data.
Bardock, Trunks,
Grounded snap.
Yamcha.
Okay. Next. When you snap someone, the screen is locked. Sorry, I moved Bardock, but the screen does not move with Bardock. Okay? And I call Trunks here. Again, the screen does not move. This happens. Bardock's like, what the hell is going on?
He's like, what up,
Vegeta's
bro?
also like, what is happening? And I tap a button, and I just fucking go like that. Okay? Can you go to the other side? Yeah. Just like that. You could also do this in the corner. You could do this anywhere. Good luck, by the way. This shit is fucking impossible.
I mean, this character in general is impossible, I think, but
Looks pretty obvious, right? Not that tricky. Not that tricky, right? Not that tricky. It's just a jump in into a low, right? It's not.
is it like
Nothing
is
really
the
crazy.
jump and hitting cross up? It probably is, right? Uh-huh. Oh, the clat. That is peak.
Check. Everyone's holding back, right? Yes?
You just
So
hold back
think
in the
you blocked
corner,
it,
right?
Watch this
The
clip
cross up.
again. Watch the lever. You see this lever? It's holding back, just like you. Did you block that?
Caught emoji.
Oh my god, you don't even know what is fucking happening to you.
This guy's
Watch the
evil.
lever,
He's a
watch the lever, watch the
mixologist
lever.
for sure.
Oh wow, they're holding forward this time.
You know, when I was a barista at Starbucks, you could do this certification that makes you a coffee master, and you could get a black apron. The way he cooks in the kitchen, this guy, he deserves the black apron. He's earned the title, you know what I mean? There's no level beyond this. You see how he cackles at the thought of you getting hit?
It was a cross-up? Now, find a new rival. Now we've learned that this is indeed a cross-up, but she has it a quarter. What the fuck? I'm gonna do my best to explain this. In the current age of fighting games,
you know when he says some shit like in the current age of fighting games,
the game
it's a
will
good
literally
mix-up.
tell you this is a cross-up. They'll do something. There'll be some indicator, but in older games, you don't really have that. She hits again into a launch. Now this launch does have a follow-up. He doesn't use it here, right? So he teleports here, and you see how she is like behind Jin. By jumping forward, there's a crumb of corner space.
Oh man.
They correct. I want to say this is similar to the Lychee thing of this is easier way of being in the corner without you realizing. Boom. So you had to block this cross up. If you weren't looking at this, you literally didn't know you got hit by something, and you would just be like, my controller's fucking up, or like, I definitely was standing up. What the fuck? Something. You would say something. Oh, I said this wrong. It's a hard-coded function in the D teleport recovery state that sets her position past the opponent until she lands.
Why?
But then there's another layer of the mix-up too, which, like we mentioned before, is that she can land on either side when she does this mix-up.
The landing on either side part is the messed up part. I think anything that hits one side and then you land on the other is...
Boom.
Yeah, this
you
is fucked up.
You have no data.
That's SKD. I mean, it has to be SKD. Who else can explain it?
You have nothing. Also has a thing of maintaining advantage with something that's really fucked up. This thing is super powerful. What happens when there is no cross protection? You might think this one's a little anticlimactic because it has to be this.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Thing is that sometimes shit like this is just the best because
and
it's that easy.
As a reminder, this is not easy to set up.
Because you
this
just stab.
will probably happen 1 out of like 15
teleport
games against an Oscar player. It's not common. Like the Valve thing. This
Yeah.
is every projectile is a 50-50 pretty much because you can teleport at any time because they're all guard crush. There's stuff that's far easier to set up that just gives like simple high lows and stuff.
I wonder if he knew about that mix that you bring up. Eagle and KI has a screech, and it's like the bird just yells at you, and it's like a multi-hitting move. It's like not a true block string. So like anytime during the screech, you can go overhead or low or left or right. He has like an overhead arrow he can shoot into a slide that hits at like who knows what frame, or he can like do button and then delay the slide, or he can like never go low and then you're just like waiting. So he would just put bird screech on you and then he would just leap over you, jump over you. At some point during a multi-hitting move, you are just no longer blocking same side, it is now cross up, and when that hits, basically unblockable. And he could do it like,
you know,
he could loop it almost, right? Like he basically just constantly did it.
Like,
yeah, they changed it.
This is the last level. I talked about like mostly like tournament games. There's one mandatory thing that we have to watch.
I heard the music and I just...
You have to.
I heard the music, yeah.
You do have to.
This shit's good, man. That's a classic.
The actual Hellzone.
Hellzone Grenade is... Hellzone Grenade wishes. Why does the sweep do that?
Oh.
The launcher was actually just unnecessary roughness, no? Anyway, this is an awesome video. LK put together truly the comprehensive spreadsheet of what is or isn't mixed. I think this clip was like pretty popular before we put it on Will It Kill. I think it had a bunch of views, right? I mean, it definitely did a lot of numbers on Twitter and other places as well. Yeah, go click this video. It's in the YouTube. Go subscribe. Tell him what up. Lord Knight's video. This is what his face looks like. If all of us are not subscribed and we went and subscribed right now, he would hit 100K and get the YouTube play button. Do-do-do-do. 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 I unsub and sub again. I don't know if it works that way.